Okay, so here's the deck. And this is Sylviana. And we are doing the Tranquil Dream dungeon. So I'm always going to be selecting the top option for, provided it loads. I'm always going to be selecting the top option for dialogue, as that actually gives me it gives a certain boss at the end of the dungeon, which is the Diamond Blood Life Gain champion, which is, in my mind, it's pretty straightforward to defeat, and I know their deck pretty well, so this is pretty good. So we'll keep this one. Okay, Baby Yeti, that's fine. So I'll play out the Phoenix Guard Messenger. We will trade here. Ooh, Lanapor's Sight. Okay, so we'll play the Stormcloud out first. And we will use the replenishing stream to put in Crackling Wit and a Lunacy into our deck. So we'll probably play the Lanapor's Sight next. It's a good choice just to get the ball rolling. We're not in a rush at the moment to try and deal damage or anything like that. No animation on that. I may need to restart my client, but correct. We are doing PvE right now, and we're just doing the Enter the Dream dungeon with Sylviana. So play the Sapphire Shard, that draws us a card. Okay, so we're going to play the Vision Quest. We're going to play the Phoenix Guard Messenger. And we're actually going to put Magistrate, a Ripple, and a Sapphire Shard back into the deck. And leave it at that. So now with the Vision Quest, we're actually going to draw an additional card each turn. Alright, what do we get? A Blamsmith. Okay. It's kind of cool. So we get a Shard. So we're going to Crackling Wit now. And now we're just going to start putting Lunacies in our deck. And what's that one? Random non-quick trip in your hand becomes quick. That's fine. Play the Magistrate out. And we can swing for one now. That's fine. 4 shards and only plays a Yeti. So yeah, so the Dream Dungeons don't necessarily do their decks justice sometimes. Sometimes they don't always play what they can. Fire Soul Wizard. Okay. Alright, so we're just going to go into Lunacy here. It is a quick action. We don't necessarily need to be doing it now, but we will anyway. So I've got a couple options. We can either Time Ripple. Oh, okay, so we're certainly Time Rippling that. For sure. If he swings with this, we're just going to sacrifice the Bitty Bolt to kill him. That's fine. That's what we want. Twisted Fate. And Lunacy. So basically, we want to make sure that our board is saving us from dying, and at the same time, we are interacting with their deck. So we're going to block with the Magistrate here. So we should have actually kept one of these guys up for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we do just automatically win here. That's fine. And there were a bunch of spiders in there. So we'll just go ahead and full swing. So the Dream Scar's an interesting one because he has a lot of... Due to his passive power, he can actually get through and deal damage directly to the face. So we're going to go with Blood here. Again, first dialogue option here. Always. I say always, but because there are different bosses that you can end up facing, for me I prefer the first dialogue option from all of them, and that gets you the life gain champion, which sounds like it should be more difficult, but the other champions can have more explosive turns, and the life gain champion's just a little bit slower, so I tend to prefer that particular one. Alright, this hand is keepable. So we'll play a Chronic Madness straight off the bat. Get the ball rolling. Turn 2 we'll play at the Storm Cloud. And we'll put more Crackling Wits and more Lunacies in the deck with the champion power there. So we're not going to block his 1/1 Killblade with our Storm Cloud because it has lethal. So no need to there. But we can block the Giant Mosquito, however. So that's a bit different. So I'll play the Empress of Ice out. There's no real reason not to at this point. So he may not even swing with the Giant Mosquito, which will be interesting. Nope. Murder on the Empress of Ice. Okay, that's fine. No, okay. So we'll go to Phoenix Guard Messenger and the Psychic Torment here. We'll sit tight. Call the Grave on... must have been a troop that I buried with one of the other effects. Okay, so we're going to go Tribunal Magistrate here. We'll see if he trades here. He does. Okay, that's fine. And we get a Crackling Wit. Okay, not a problem. We'll take the 1. We're not in a rush. So Crackling Wit. Okay, so what we're going to do here is actually play the Twisted Fate. Another Champion Power. Okay, so that costs 3. So we're going to go another Crackling Wit. And another Lunacy. Two damage is still fine. For the Grave. Okay, so he's going to have an army of mosquitoes up soon. But we're okay with that. So we're going to play Crackling Wit here. We get a Vision quest, which is interesting. So what we might do is actually exhaust the Storm Cloud. we will play out a Lunacy. And we do actually get a spider. 2 spiders. It's pretty good. Let's see. I think we just block with the Thunder Puff. And we exhaust you. And he doesn't gain health. Taint on the spider. Okay, fair enough. We're actually going to just draw a card with Splashy. And draw another card with Splashy. Okay, so play the Shard. Play the Vision Quest. And we're going to Vision Quest the Phoenix Guard, the Time Ripple, and the Shard back in. I'm going to play out the Chronic Madness. And we do in fact get some more spiders, so that's pretty good. So we're going to swing with these spiders here. And gets us a few more spiders thanks to Psychic Torment. And we're looking pretty good to win this one. Block you. Block you. Kill you. And we kill you. So it's all good news. And taint on one of the spiders is pretty funny, but it is not going to be enough. Although we now have drawn spiders, which is kind of funny. Everyone is drawing spiders. So moving on from the Dream Spider, we're actually going to go to the Dream Turtle. I find the Dream Turtle's a bit interesting with some of the decks. Like slower decks like this one, it can just get out of hand with how much health and the big troops. The Dream Bear can also end up with some big troops, but I feel like it's a bit more manageable and their health doesn't increase as well. So the Dream Turtle, every time they play a diamond card, gains a health. And this is pretty good. So depending on what he plays, we're either going to play the Vision Quest on turn 3 or the Tribunal Magistrate on turn 3, but it really depends on what he plays. So turn 1 Phoenix Guard Messenger. So the equipment on the Phoenix Guard Messenger is really good. Normally it costs 2. Getting it down to cost 1 is really quite nice. We have a lot of shards, so we're probably going to put down Vision Quest first. And here's the problem. So he just healed 8 so that we could deal 1. 1 from playing the one from playing the diamond card, and 7 from the card itself. So we want more Crackling Wits, and we want more Crackling Wits. Play the Vision Quest. And we're going to put 3 Sapphire Shards into our deck so that now we can draw an extra card per turn. Who cares about life if you bury him out? That's correct. It's definitely an option. So we've got an Air Elemental, which is pretty funny. Not exactly what we wanted there. So what we're going to do is we're going to bury... Sorry, bury. We're going to put these 3 cards back in the deck. We're going to play out the Tribunal Magistrate. Play the Phoenix Guard Messenger. So we can block the Rigid Buffalo with the Magistrate. And we're going to be drawing an extra 2 cards per turn. And he doesn't even bother swinging. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so Storm Cloud, Shard. Oh, I know what it is. That's my bad. You can only play one troop per turn. Okay, so swings. We're going to block the 2-3. He plays a Quick Strider. No, we'll wait to play out the other Storm Cloud before we play the Crackling Wit here. Okay. So I think the plan is to play the Empress. Sorry, to put these 3 cards back in my deck. Play out the Storm Cloud. Play out the Crackling Wit. Play out the Shard. Champion Power. And we can probably bump off one of the Storm Clouds. And swing with these 2. Is it just me, or did the game get a little quieter then? Okay, so we definitely block. No, we definitely block here, and we'll block here, and then we'll sacrifice Beady Bolt to kill this other one, so that no damage gets through, which is quite nice. Oh no, what are you boxing? Oh, not that guy. Okay, box the Tribunal Magistrate, that's fine. Oh no, what else are you boxing? That other Storm Cloud. Oh no, I didn't even get to use him. Ah, that's alright. Okay. So, I'm going to put these 3 cards back in our deck. Chronic Madness. Crackling Wit. We're probably fine, so we'll swing with everything. We're not likely to win by swinging, but you can just block some damage here. Okay, so that's unfortunate. In a conflict on him. So I think it's time to go Lanapor's Sight into a Sapphire Shard, into... We'll actually go into Lunacy if we wanted to, and we'll draw 3 more cards. We'll draw another card next turn. So and we'll just keep swinging in case for some reason we get his life down quicker than we get his deck down. Okay, so play the Sapphire Shard. We will put more Crackling Wits into the deck. More Crackling Wits into the deck. Then we will Crackling Wits. We'll play the Captain's Parrot. We'll charge power. How much does this cost now? 5. We will Crackling Wit again. This time's copied because of the Captain's Parrot. We will Chronic Madness. And we won't even bother swinging. We'll just let him lose from not being able to draw a card. So that worked out pretty well. Looks like Vision Quest is actually a bit more crucial to this deck than I thought it was. Than I thought it would be. We only have the one in there, because you don't ever need more than one in the deck. Okay, that sounds like it is back to slightly higher audio, so we're just going to tune it back. This hand is fine. So again, we've got Vision Quest on turn 3. Yeah, we're just going to turn the audio back to where it was. Alright, so that's good news. So the sound is back to normal, that's fine. It must have been because I had to disconnect and come back in. So we already have a spider, because not from this deck itself, but one of the mercenaries that I like running with decks, especially decks like these, is Damior Lathe. Alright. Let's just turn you down a little, because that was pretty loud. We'll play out the Flock of Seagulls. The Flock of Seagulls... Flock of Seagulls, flight, defensive, prevent all combat damage that will be dealt to this. Meaning, I can block for days. And he apparently knows it. Okay. So, play the shard, play the Vision Quest. And... I'm actually going to keep the 2 Twisted Fates here. So the Dream Bear. So we've got Vine Lash, which is interesting. So we can kill a flyer, but he's not playing any flyers, so it's kind of funny. Alright, so we're going to go Twisted Fates, Chronic Madness, swing with both Spiderlings. At this rate, we will get his health down before we get his deck down. But that may not necessarily always be the case. So now that he's actually swinging, we may have to start. Oh, that's not good for us. So we will have to start using these guys to block. So play the Twisted Fate here. Sapphire Shard, and we will Chronicle Madness. So we're actually going to Ebbing Tide on this guy. And we'll take 2 defense. Oh, sorry, we'll take 2 damage. Ooh, Snarl Brute's kind of a bit rough for us here. Okay, that's pretty good. We're going to play out the Flock of Seagulls first. And we'll hold on to that shard. The reason being, we actually want to put 3 cards back in our deck with Vision Quest. But if we play the shard, we're going to have to wait too many turns. So we will block thusly. Ooh, smash it on. Alright, this is starting to get a little bit dangerous. Okay, so play the Magistrate. We're going to put these 3 back in. So we get a Mentor of Oakhenge. That's better than the Vine Lash we were given. So we block here to here, and we block here to here, and we still take 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. Wild Growth is very unfortunate for us there. Very, very unfortunate. So we are very close to finishing off our opponent. But I think we may not quite get there. Just due to that one unfortunate... I should have put those 3 back in the deck. Oh, there's a couple of spiders. That might save us. That might save us. So we block the crush damage there. We block some damage here. And we take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do take 6 damage. Do we risk it for the biscuits? I think we do have to risk it for the biscuit. Nope. Combat trick. Oh, combat trick here. Oh, we're okay then. Thank you, opponent, for playing combat trick in the exact wrong spot. Alright. Well, that's nice. So, we're just going to win. Huh. That was a bit close, that one. So, remembering that the Tranquil Dream dungeon is an early dungeon in Adventure Zone 1. So sometimes the AI does misplay. It's kind of built into it sometimes. Although usually in that scenario I've found that the AI will actually win. But not always the case. Alright, so we start off with a Chronic Madness. We're actually going to go into a Storm Cloud rather than going into Twisted Fate. But we will make a couple of Lunacies here. So yeah, the AI making mistakes. They will make mistakes sometimes, but not always. So you can't count on them misplaying. You just kind of have to enjoy it when it happens. We're actually going to play the Twisted Fate here now. And then play out the Phoenix Guard Messenger. So, when a champion plays a Sapphire card, an opposing card exhausts, which is kind of what's been happening. So we're actually going to play this Ushul here, which is pretty cool. And he reads, when an opposing champion draws a card, reveal it. If the revealed card is a troop, summon a Spider Spawn. Yeah, Spider Spawn sounds good. So we'll swing. Nope, it was a yesterday. Sorry, that was a bit quick. And Time Ripple on the Ushul. Okay. Okay. So, got verdicts there. Which is a bit unfortunate. So, verdict on the Lunacy was really pretty rude for us there, unfortunately. But that's right, we'll play Lanapause Sight. Verdict on the Lanapause Sight was very rude. Okay. The AI doesn't want us to play cards. Fair enough. Seen it buff for lethal many times. Yeah, so sometimes it does buff for lethal, sometimes it does not. I guess it just depends. Okay, do we get to play the Ushul? We do indeed get to play it. Swing with these two. And I think it's probably time we just got the clouds out. So I'm just going to play the Empress out. I'm not going to play any shards or anything like that at the moment. If we do get Vision Quest, I want to play it and then immediately be able to put 3 cards in. Yesterday incoming. But we did get to swing, so that was pretty good. Okay, now we are definitely playing a shard. And we are going to play nothing because we have played troops this turn. Alright. So because we've already played at least 1 troop this turn, we cannot play anymore. We get a time step magistrate, which is no good for us. Cloud Titan is fine because we have... Yeah, we have time ripple. We're actually going to make another one just in case that becomes a concern of ours. Alright, so we're going to go Shard into... We'll actually go Tribunal Magistrate into Chronic Madness. Okay. And we'll swing for 2 because it might matter. It might count doing the damage. Plays a Storm Colossus. Okay, we cannot time ripple the Storm Colossus. What we can do, however, is play Phoenix Guard Messenger, play a Lunacy, swing the Spiderling, and we will block with Phoenix Guard Messenger for 2 reasons. 1, 7 damage is a lot, and 2, we get to draw a card, which also drops a card from their deck. Okay. Interesting. So we're going to play the Captain's Parrot here. Then we're going to play Crackling Wit, which copies because of the Captain's Parrot. Sapphire Shard. Charges. Swing with 3 Spiderlings. So we've got their deck down pretty close. But I think it's going to come down to actual damage with the spiders here. Plays a Cloud Titan, and we're just going to rip with that Titan. Simply because we can. So why would we not? So they actually have no cards left either, so we actually won on both counts, so we can swing. Or we can just wait for them to draw. Either way that works. So Sylviana taking out the win there. And now for the boss battle, which is also a mercenary upgrade node or challenge node. So it's also useful. Yeah, we'll keep this. So gain health, and Blood Diamond. So the first dialogue option on all chats in the dungeon will get you this same champion, the same powers. Oh, that's a bit rude. So we might have to get some time ripples here. So we'll get a time ripple, and we'll get a crackling wit. So we'll get rid of you, my friends. Brings out the Paladin Necropolis, which is also pretty bad for us. We'll take the alternate art, Stormclouds. That. So we're just going to block here. Take the one. Hopefully he doesn't have a trick. He does have a trick. Bit unfortunate. Let's see. We've got a Storm Clouds. Got a Sapphire Shard. And we'll go a Crackling Wit. Now, what cards do we want? We've got 3. It costs 3 and 4, so we'll grab a Lunacy here. We're actually going to remove that. Not quite what we wanted, but that's alright. So we'll block with Splashy and then block with the Splashy and then prevent damage from going through. Hello there, MIDI. And so no damage gets dealt, so we're fine. So now we're going to play out the Empress. Play the Sapphire Shard. Exhaust you, and you can never unexhaust while the Empress is alive. We will Lunacy, but we'll also swing for damage, because damage may matter. It may count. So he can finally play his Righteous Paladin again. Unfortunately for him, we are actually going to exhaust it forever. I've got a Chronic Madness. Going to Lunacy. And we might as well Crackling Wit as well. And then we can swing. So it's a good thing we drew a Sapphire Shard, because we do need to exhaust that Cheery Songbird. And we'll also Lunacy at the same time. Okay, a Spiderling. Cool. So that'll speed things up just that little bit. So, yeah, not sure if Sister Midnight with the diamond... Ooh. That might be useful. Not sure Sister Midnight with the Diamond Blood deck has a way to kill Empress of Ice, but she might. So we're going to take 3 here. We're actually going to ripple the Prophet of Ren there. Don't need him gaining health like that, so Land of Plus Sights. She can double Vampiric Kiss, or double Vampire Kiss for sure. Plays the Duskwing Outrider. Okay. Well, that's alright, because we have just exhausted it, so that's fine. And full swing. And that is the boss of the Tranquil Dream dungeon. Challenge completed. Earn some gold, get some packs. Tranquil Dream dungeon complete using Sylviana. I already had one upgrade challenge node completed, so that's now meant that we can upgrade her, but we won't for the time being. Alright, thank you for watching.